Ahoy! Today's guide, which is slightly longer than 1 minute, is about the new guild dungeon feature. As the name suggests, that is a dungeon specifically designed for guilds with a greatly increased party size and rewards for all the members. Now first of all, as with every dungeon, you will need an entry item. That is available in the guild shop, which you can open by clicking the little shopping cart icon in the guild window. Every member who wants to enter the guild dungeon needs one entry for each run. The second step is the party itself. A dungeon party can be opened by the guildmaster or any of the guild managers, and members can join those parties. To do that, a leader must enter this portal just outside the town of Bloody Ice and talk to the giant flaming runestone or whatever that is. The difficulty of the dungeon is chosen randomly by the server at the beginning of the day, but if you're crazy enough to spend a fortune worth of gems on it, you can change it. The difficulties go as easy, normal, hard, heroic, and awakened. So once any of the guild's leaders created a party, members can join it through the guild window. Every member also receives a notification when that happens to make it even easier. The capacity of a guild dungeon party is 25, and at least 7 guild members must be present to begin, but if the 25 limit isn't enough, it is also possible for more than one party to be open at the same time. There is a 10-minute timer from the moment a leader creates a party. If the dungeon is not started before that timer ends, the party is disbanded and the entry items will be lost, so be careful with that. To begin, the leader must press the Enter Dungeon button, which starts the whole thing within 10 seconds. That is an ideal time to start your battle modes, cast your buffs, and so on. The dungeon itself has only one boss, the big-ass dragon in the middle. However, at certain health points it will become invincible. When that happens, a bunch of mini-bosses spawn with yellow text over their heads. Those must be killed before the actual boss can be damaged again. Don't bother using high damage skills or debuffs on those because they cannot be damaged over 100 with conventional methods. Just use the fastest skills you have or even normal attack, especially if you have battle mode 2. There are 3 checkpoints where this happens. First, when you enter the dungeon with 4 mini-bosses to kill, then at around half of the boss's HP with 4 mini-bosses and 1 extra mob for each of them, but they also have yellow text over them so it's easy to find them. And last, at around 30% of its HP where only the 4 mini-bosses appear, but this time many other monsters around will try to hinder your progress. When that third wave is defeated, the boss also becomes much harder to kill. On higher difficulties, it will silence anyone around it and use spike attacks, so it's an ideal time to cast Shadow Shield or any other survival buff you have to avoid silence and death. If that boss is defeated, there will be another one just to waste some of your time. It doesn't attack, but can also be damaged a maximum of 1000, so once again just use fast attacks. If that is dealt with, the dungeon is complete and you will be prompted to exit. Now the rewards, of course, because otherwise you wouldn't be doing this dungeon, right? So first of all, you get 15 DP for a round, and considering how it takes about 2 minutes with a full party, I'd say that's pretty damn fast. Second, when the dungeon is complete, the entire guild, every member, even those who weren't in the party, receive a buff for a whole day. This Blessing of Unity is what you see in the top right corner. And no, its level is currently 1, and you don't get a better one for doing harder difficulties, but that may change with the following updates. Third, there is a gift box called Cube of Blaze. Now that thing can be opened 8 hours after you finish the dungeon run, and you can store a maximum of 3 of them in the queue. So I recommend doing 3 runs of the guild dungeon in a row to fill that and be able to open them all within 24 hours. The higher the difficulty, the better items you can get from that chest. In addition to the chest, you get Badges of Unity depending on the difficulty. 1 for easy, up to 5 for awakened. Those can be exchanged for various items in the guild shop like XP, Honor, Overlord XP cubes, buff potions, and so on. And last but not least, a few tips, because frankly that is what my channel is here for. Make sure you change to a non-premium channel before creating the party. If you change channel after creating the party, you will not be able to start the dungeon and everyone will lose their entries. The boss can be suppressed with skills like Panic Cry, Shield Charge, and so on, allowing you to deal enough damage to it to skip an entire phase of invincibility. That can drastically decrease the time a run takes. Don't hesitate to split up when killing the mini-bosses. It's faster to have like 6 people on each than to focus on the same one and run to another after it's dead. I recommend scheduling a fixed time when the guild dungeon takes place, so it's much easier for members to show up for it. And doing 3 runs in a row at that time, because you can only get 3 boxes, and that way you can start the next run within 24 hours with all the boxes open and the blessing of Unity just ending. If there are more than 25 people who would like to do guild dungeon at the same time, have 2 leaders make 2 parties and split people up. It's no fun having 25 in the first one and 6 in the other one waiting for one more member to finally be able to start the run. Instead, have 15 in each of them and they will go smoothly for both parties then. So I hope this video will be helpful, and as always the comments are open for questions and suggestions. I have also created a much simpler way for supporting my channel, so if you'd like to do that, and also to have your character name displayed as a supporter in every future video, check out the video description. Ahoy!